Así arranca esta segunda parte de este hermoso programa que estamos haciendo en este preciso momento. Así arranca otro nuevo bloque. Y es el momento de Esto o la Fábrica, esta sección en donde repensamos, redefinimos todo lo que tiene que ver con la industria de la música. Y cuando hablo de la industria de la música, me refiero a toda esta parafernalia de cosas que hacen falta para que una obra viaje, se traslade desde Europa a América, desde Japón a Sudamérica, desde Australia al África. Y antes, hace un par de añitos nada más, para lo que tiene que ver, comparando con lo que es, la historia universal, hacía falta pasaron muy poquitos de años para que haya un cambio enorme y estructural. Y ahora, bueno, con las redes sociales y esas cositas, podemos resolver todo este tipo de cosas. Para hablar de todas esas cosas, nos nutrimos de diálogos de organizadores de festivales, de productores y de un montón de diálogos también con músicos, obviamente, como es el día de la fecha en donde nos vamos a ir a Polonia para hablar con los amigos de WHALESONG. Ellos se encuentran en este momento en Polonia. ¿Digo bien, Raúl? ¿Estamos bien? ¿Digo bien?
Exactamente, sí, ya está conectado.
Hello.
Hello, my friends. Are you listening me okay? Are you listening well?
Yes, indeed.
Perfecto.
Bueno, Raúl, mándate vos, que sos acá el que entiende más de estas cositas.
Dale, vamos a arrancar con la entrevista. Hello, thanks for being here with us. We are going to start the interview, okay?
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you.
So please tell us your full name, where are you from, and how old are you?
Hello, I'm Michał Kiełbasa from Poland, from WHALESONG, and I'm 33 years old.
Okay,
nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you. We are going to make a little translation for the Spanish listeners, okay?
Yes, of course.
Perfecto. Bueno, le pregunté su nombre, cuántos años tiene y de dónde es. Es de Polonia, es de la banda WHALESONG y tiene 33 años. Please tell us which is your first memory of you listening to music?
Oh, that's a tough question, actually. Let me think. One of the first would be probably listening to some Metallica songs as a kid.
Wow, yes. I'm a big fan of Metallica, so it's great for me. And you were listening to that in the TV, on the radio. You have any familiar that gives you Metallica?
I think it was like some radio. I remember that as a kid I was also like recording some stuff on the TV and watching it and recording it on tape on tape cassettes to listen it to later as well.
Perfect. And that was MTV from Poland, or was
I think yes, or Viva, something like that.
Viva.
In those years there was still some music playing.
Exactly, perfecto. Le pregunté por su primer recuerdo escuchando música, me dice que fue Metallica a través de la radio y que también en la televisión él grababa cosas para después volverlas a escuchar, y aparte de MTV había un canal de televisión que se llamaba Viva que todavía pasaba música, no como ahora parece. And which was your first instrument and which was the first song that you learned?
First instrument was acoustic guitar. I started to play on it when I was like, I think 13, something like that. And first song that I was learning, I guess it was some Led Zeppelin, let's say, probably. Starway to Heaven, like nice. Many other people.
Exactly. Bueno, le pregunté el primer instrumento y cuál fue su primera canción, y me dijo que alrededor de los 13 él tenía una guitarra acústica y que probablemente la primera canción que empezó a aprender fue Starway to Heaven, Escaleras al Cielo de Led Zeppelin. And can you tell us, are there any places to study music for free in your region, or you have to pay to study music?
There are some. Actually, most of the schools are like music schools are like need to be paid up front. Yeah.
Okay. Bueno, le pregunté si hay lugares para aprender música gratis o son pagos, y dice que la mayoría de las escuelas estrictamente de música son pagas. And can you tell us how was the first time that you play in public?
I think it was with some friends of mine. I played some song with them as a guest, so it was like first experience like that. although the first full show I played was actually with WHALESONG in I think 2010. We played in quite a big industrial hall, and it was quite interesting experience. Although we were both, because we were a duo, we were learning a lot then.
Wow, nice experiment. Wow. Bueno, le pregunté cómo fue la primera vez que tocó en público. Dice que tuvo varias experiencias tocando como invitados de bandas, y la primera vez que tocó como un dúo con WHALESONG, con el proyecto, eran un dúo y tocaron en una zona de fábricas, así que fue una experiencia, un experimento bastante bueno. And can you tell us, how did WHALESONG begin and why you put that name?
The band started in 2009. Earlier I had a band in high school, Delusion, but we stopped after the school, and then I was like, I want to do something new, and then I decided to create WHALESONG. In the beginning I was still like seeking what direction I would go. One of the first things I knew was I want to use 8-string guitars then, and the name came from reading an article about whales, where I read that each whale always sings its song once, so they never repeat themselves, and I liked the concept. That's why I took it, because I wanted this band to evolve in time and seek new paths, new ways. So we would not stay with one style, but will go all the time forward and seek new possibilities in our sound.
Really nice concept to evolve. Wow. Bueno, le pregunté cómo había empezado el proyecto de WHALESONG y por qué le pusieron ese nombre, y me dijo que la banda empezó en el 2009. Él tenía una banda en el secundario que se llamaba Delusion, pero bueno, cuando terminó el secundario ya la banda se acabó y empezaron con este proyecto, y él ya tenía la idea de que quería tocar con guitarras de 8 cuerdas por sonidos, y que el nombre WHALESONG salió. Él leyó un artículo sobre las ballenas, y lo que nos dijo que es muy interesante: las ballenas solamente cantan una sola vez, o sea, el sonido que hacen, la transmisión, digamos, audible de ese sonido, lo hacen solo una vez, no lo repiten, y ese es un concepto que él quería meter en la banda para como estar en constante evolución, o sea, hacer algo y tratar de no repetirse todo el tiempo. Tremendo, sí, la verdad que está bueno. In 2011 you released your first EP, Filth. Can you tell us how was the recording process of that EP, and why you put that name, Filth?
The recording process, I wrote the songs. We actually played them on this first show we did a year earlier, and it was quite easy to record, although it was tough, as it was one of the first records I have done as sound engineer in my life, but it was a bit easier because we used drum machine, so due to that it was a bit easier. I was recording everything through amplifier. No, I didn't use any digital stuff, so it was like all mic'd, and it took like, I think, a year to finish those songs, something like that. And the name was influenced a bit by the band Swans.
Swans.
And their debut album, it was influence. It was always influential in some way for the band, and I thought that this name would fit this album very well, and it was also like kinda, a hint for some people who will like this band, but they may like this album as well.
Perfect. Bueno, le pregunté en el 2011, ellos grabaron su primer EP, Filth, y cómo fue el proceso de grabación, y lo que me dijeron que fue bastante simple, pese, bueno, a todo las inconveniencias de ser la primera vez que graban algo. Lo que él hizo fue grabar primero todas las bases de baterías con máquinas, y después sí las cosas de guitarra las hizo con amplificadores, no usó ninguna maquinola loca, digamos, ningún como es ninguna cosa digital para grabar sus guitarras, las hizo todo con amplificadores con sonido propio, y tardaron más o menos un año en grabar este EP, y el nombre Filth lo hizo porque hay una banda que se llama Swans, que yo la conozco, a mí me gusta mucho Swans también, y lo hizo por esa banda, el nombre Filth, aparte para que sea inconveniente para algún determinado tipo de gente que quizás no le guste, un palazo a la gente ahí. In July of 2023, last year, you released your last album, Living a Dream. Why you put that name to that album, to the last album?
It's once when I was on one tour, I've been talking with a friend. It was like kind of end of the tour, and we were speaking about, living a dream, like being on tour, working on concerts. And as it was close to the end of the tour, I had this idea that, are we living a dream or are we living a dream? And I really liked this idea, so I kind of kept it in my mind. I wrote it down and kept it for the future. And while doing this album, I thought that it's good to be used as an album name, as a song name as well. Mm-hmm. Originally as a song name, because as a title name it came later. This idea to use it this way as well. And I like that it's like it's quite interesting, it makes you think a bit about it. So plus the whole vibe of the album is quite also a bit dreamy, so I thought that it will fill this concept perfectly.
Perfect. Bueno, le pregunté, el año pasado, en julio del año pasado, del 2023, lanzaron su último disco que se llama Living a Dream, y le pregunté por qué le pusieron ese nombre, y lo que él me comentaba que a finales del último tour que hicieron con el anterior disco, estaba hablando con un amigo y le dice si están viviendo Living a Dream, si están viviendo el sueño de tocar, de producir música, o Living a Dream, o dejando el sueño, o terminando un sueño. Y dice que eso fue algo que le quedó en la cabeza y le pareció interesante ese concepto para nombrar una canción o el nombre del disco. Y que también es algo que te hace pensar, o sea, vivir un sueño, ¿no? Y bueno, todo eso lo incorporaron en el disco, que es un disco bastante soñador, fue lo que dijo, y bueno, así fue como salió el disco. And did you have many changes between the first recording process and this last one?
In between both records?
No. Between the first, you record in some way, and this last, it was different?
It took few years to finish this album, so it was like constantly adding. Since the previous album, Radiance of a Thousand Suns, we usually record first the drums. They are kind of improvised, and then I start to arrange the rest of the stuff. I add the layers, so it's like building a song. So I'm constantly adding one instrument, then another layer of the same or maybe different one, and then some new ideas come to my mind, and then I can add another stuff, because of that will come another idea. So it's like constantly adding something until I'm like, okay, it's fine, it's enough.
No, you have a lot of music in your head. That is nice.
Yes.
Perfect. Bueno, le pregunté si hubo muchos cambios en el proceso de grabación entre el primer EP y este último disco que grabaron. Y dice que sí, hubo un montón, porque grabaron un montón de baterías, y aparte había baterías que estaban zapadas, y él después fue agregando cosas. O sea, ya tenía la base grabada y fue agregando y quitando cosas. Y dice, bueno, que eso fue un proceso bastante largo y que fue muy diferente al otro. Can you tell us something about the lyrics of your music, because you have a lot of short sentences, like voices, no, and short sentences. Why you choose to make that, and what did the lyrics talk about?
It comes actually quite natural. Some songs sometimes are a tiny bit longer, but it all depends on the song. Plus, in some way, I use the voice like another instrument in some way. So it's a bit of this concept like that. Some songs sometimes what we perform live, they have like longer lyrics, more stuff happens, but all depends on the song, on the vibe of it. Sometimes it's better to, you know, give the music speak itself in some way. And regarding lyrics, also a bit tough question. They are, well, on the new album especially, they are a bit dreamy. There are some concepts come back quite often, like, you know, sun, and, you know, there is like a bit like catharsis, cathartic experience, and, you know, getting into yourself inside. And also one of the key points of the new album is like what happens to dreams when the dreamer disappears, you know, another question to what makes you think, and then it's not so obvious. I like the lyrics to keep them kind of open, so everybody can experience them in other way and feel them differently.
That is a really heavy concept, eh? When the dreamer is gone, what happened with the dreams? Wow, nice. Bueno, le preguntaba por las letras, porque tienen un montón de letras pequeñas o hablan solamente una palabra y lo dejan en el medio de la canción. Y lo que él me decía que lo que tratan mayormente es que la música hable y le van metiendo voces, y aparte que tratan de utilizar la voz como otro instrumento. Y aparte dice que son letras muy catárticas, que hacen catarsis, y que puntualmente en este disco, el disco está como rodeado de la idea, del concepto de que qué pasa cuando el que tiene sueños se muere, qué pasa con los sueños cuando la persona que sueña desaparece. Y terrible. Y aparte lo que decían que muchas veces dejan la letra a interpretación del que la escucha, o sea, y eso es un concepto muy bueno. I think that you have a mix between industrial music and maybe rock, really heavy rock. Which is the part more industrial and which is the part more stoner, maybe?
Well, I agree. We come from kind of industrial scene. Plus, I always kind of thought about this band as more industrial thing. But also there is a lot of influences from rock music. Like the closest one would be like, you know, noise rock, let's say, kind of like Sonic Youth, maybe, or plenty of other things that could be called noise rock. But we also bring some influences from things like jazz, ambient, and many more. But in the end, in some way, these songs, when we look on the basics of them, they are still kind of industrial, even if the sound is not the first thing that would come to you, but still the way the songs are kind of arranged, and they are in some way minimal as well. It's kind of industrial style. Also, I bring a lot of influences from minimal music as well, like, you know, Lamonte Young or Terry Riley. So it's like the thing I mentioned about adding the instruments. It's very minimalistic way of playing in some way. Not so much stuff is going on, but it's hypnotic and constant.
I am really happy because it's strange to bands, industrial bands, to give interviews. You know, they are like close, they don't speak with anybody. And I have, when I was young, I have like 2 or 3 years that I only listened to industrial music, and it was, my head explodes, because I think that people thinks that industrial music is only aggressive, and it's not only aggressive. You have a lot of music inside that is not aggressive. For example, ambient or minimal. Minimal is too really complex music, and it's really similar in some ways with industrial, and I really like. Wow. Sí, me está dando, Manu, perdón, pero I'm speaking with Manu.
No,
me pongo muy contento porque después es la parte que yo no explico, después de escuchar Sepultura, Pantera y Metallica, me comí como 4 o 5 años escuchando música industrial. Y la música industrial que dicen que es súper agresiva, todo tiene un lado volador súper grande, ¿entendés? Y me encanta, confirma mi teoría sobre esta cosa, que los que hacen música industrial tienen cabeza muy, muy amplia, ¿viste? No es solamente agresiva, me parece que son más voladores que los metaleros. Eso es lo que me gusta de la música industrial, me encanta y estoy súper contento por eso, perdón Manu, pero ¿tenés alguna pregunta para hacer?
No, yo quiero llegar un poco a cómo componen, porque no creo que tengan una manera tradicional de, no sé, primera, cuarta y quinta. Yo escucho como que se queda mucho en un mismo lugar, mucho tiempo, ese tipo de cosas, ¿cómo las arman?
Sí. Manu wants to know, Manu is in Buenos Aires now. In Buenos Aires there is a big scene, rock scene, stoner. Scene. There is a really big stoner scene, and he really likes WHALESONG. He was really happy to speak with you too. And we want to know if there is a really complex process in composition. You want not to be normal in your composition way, or you just let it flow?
I let it flow, although I with this band I write songs on a piece of paper first. I write down the idea I have, like, you know, the vibe, some ideas of arrangements, like, you know, if it will be more like bass will be the main instrument, the leading one, or guitar, and I write down what I want to have in the song. I also write down the way how it should evolve, the whole arrangement of the song, like, you know, start quiet, go louder, go down, and then go very loud, stuff like that. And then after that I seek the sounds. I take a guitar or a bass or different instrument, and I start to find what I wanted. Sometimes I also just play and then I figure out something, and so it also can come through this way. But most often I write down the ideas of the songs, and then I seek the sound.
Uh-huh. Bueno, ahí estaba respondiendo Manu, le preguntó por el proceso de composición, y lo que él dice que Michael de WHALESONG nos está explicando que él al principio la mayoría de las veces lo escribe en una hoja y después le van dando el move, el vibe según cómo quiere que sea el estilo, va poniendo más fuerte acá, empieza tranquilo, después explota, y todo eso la mayoría de las veces primero lo escribe y después va agarrando los instrumentos. Y aunque sí hay algunas veces que está tocando y bueno, se le ocurre algo y sigue adelante. And with the audio, when you are going to record, how do you search for that kind of audio?
I have my own studio, recording studio. So then first I invite our drummer. I show him what I'm gonna play and what I kind of want. Then he records a bit improvised stuff. Sometimes he doesn't even know the song because, well, it's in my mind. And then once he records his stuff, then as I mentioned earlier, I just sit down, I seek what amps I would like to use, what kind of microphones, the setup, and then I go step by step. I record one layer, then I think about the other one, what can I add, and it goes like that. Sometimes as we also play songs live before we even record them for the album, sometimes it also changes naturally during, because of the rehearsals or live shows themselves, and or sometimes we record something and in the meantime we already play it live and we play it different way than on the album in the end. Like, for a good example of that is for this song "Believe Us" from "Living a Dream," and also from "The Ashes" and "Forgive," as they are 3 of them are on the live album "From the Ashes of the Past." And there is also one more song, "Flash," from "Radiance of a Thousand Suns," and it's completely different than on the album. So it shows how these songs can evolve through time, or even at the same time. On the album there's one thing, but live it's completely different. And again, it gives also some new ideas for future songs as well. What we can use in the future with new songs. So exactly. It's constantly changing and evolving.
No, that is a whale song. Perfect, the concept. That is a whale song. Perfecto. Sí, no, muy bueno. Bueno, le estábamos preguntando por el tema del audio. Me dijo que tiene un estudio de grabación, Manu, así que él tiene la posibilidad de ir experimentando un montón en el estudio de grabación, y hay muchas veces que tocan la canción antes de grabarla, la tocan en vivo, y cuando la tocan en vivo ya cambia, vuelven al estudio, lo hacen otras partes, y lo que él particularmente dice que muchas veces trae al baterista y le va agregando capas y va volviendo, y termina todo el concepto del whale song, de tratar de no repetirse, así que eso está perfecto. Michael, what do you think about the actual rock scene in Poland?
There's plenty of good bands. Constantly there appear new ones, like although mostly we have most of the bands are more into metal music. Like we have this band Plane. I did for them lately some I was recording them in my studio. I also did some ambient stuff for them, very catchy black metal. And we have also stuff like Above Aurora, Lamashtu. We have very strong metal scene with rock. There is also stuff like Riverside or Tales from Nebula, and plenty of really interesting good music. But I think mostly we are the best in metal music in the end, as we have a lot of good stuff.
Perfecto. No, and you said, bueno, le estamos preguntando por la escena, dice que está muy bien, que hay un montón de bandas también, pero que más allá de rock and roll o de stoner o industrial están más involucrados en el metal. Hay una escena de metal muy fuerte en Polonia, y buenísimo, catchy black metal. Why you say that? Terrible. Esos conceptos son heavy metal, pero catchy heavy metal es terrible. Perfect. And can you tell us, what do you think about social media and streaming services?
Well, nowadays it's a must. Without that, it's quite tough to get to the people. First thing people check is usually some streaming services or fan page on Facebook or eventually on Instagram, and Bandcamp. It's main stuff that everyone checks ASAP. When I think not so many people check if the band has a website anymore. I think it was we were using websites 10 years ago or even more, but nowadays key point is to have Bandcamp and fan page, at least at Facebook. Perfect. Although more and more people bands have the profiles on Instagram, and Instagram is also getting more and more important.
So. No, in Instagram they are only photos, so it's crazy to be.
Although a lot of people use it nowadays for promotions as well, especially stories, using stories and stuff. So. It's also good to have it and can be useful.
Exactly. Bueno, lo que nos decía que es verdad también, lo que le preguntamos por los social medias y los servicios de streaming, y lo que nos estaba comentando que es verdad que ya la gente lo que primero chequea, lo que primero traquea es Spotify, por ejemplo, o Bandcamp. Ya no se utiliza más ir a ver la website del grupo. que eso es una realidad. O sea, ya las websites se utilizan hace 10 años que prácticamente ya no se están utilizando, y que es más que nada Spotify o servicios de streaming en donde la gente va a buscar va a buscar bandas, y que es rarísimo. Se reía, por ejemplo, porque también Instagram, que yo le decía, son solo fotos Instagram, pero bueno, él me dice que las stories y los reels, por ejemplo, son bastante importantes para que la banda vaya creciendo. We are going to just closing the interview. Can you tell us something about the future plans of the band of WHALESONG?
We are currently recording the new album, the fourth one. Actually, we did drums. We recorded drums last year. Once the Living a Dream was kind of done and being mixed for a longer time. In the meantime, I was already preparing some songs. We were also playing them live in the meantime for last 2 or even 3 years. So we are currently recording that. I'm adding constantly some new stuff recently, and I'm also writing another next album as well, because this one is, the basics are done. So I'm thinking also about the next one. Maybe we will soon perform some newer stuff as well live. Plus, at the moment we are preparing also for short European tour. It will be like around 4 shows. So like in Germany, we already announced 1 show in Poland and 1 in Germany. There will be for sure 2 more, and we will announce them very soon. So, and it will happen in the beginning of March. So if anyone has a possibility, come and see and hear this out.
Then we are going to send to you some record labels and bands from Argentina. You can check them, see, and maybe you can make contact with Latin American stoner and industrial bands, and it's okay.
Oh, perfect. Thank you very much.
Of course. Bueno, tienen ya fechas programadas en Polonia, tienen fechas programadas en Alemania, y están grabando el próximo disco, así que están a full. Just to finish the interview, we are going to listen to Struggle, the song Struggle. Can you tell us something about that particular song?
This song, it's like one of the most industrial songs on the album. It's kind of we made it kind of as an improvisation in studio. It was just an idea to have some very rhythmic song, so it was improv then. The piano was recorded by Steve Blanco from Imperial Triumphant. He's great bass player and as well great pianist, and he did this very great dissonant notes. And it's also one of the first songs we did with Elisa Aranguren, our new singer, who started to work with us on this album. And well, her voice is like out of this world, so it also changed the whole album, and as well this song, it added so many layers to it, so that it became one of my favorite songs. That's why we also used it as a first single for the album. Perfect. So it's in some way the song is very classic industrial song, and especially as we use also some circular saws, metal springs, and kind of Neubauten stuff, kind of unusual stuff that you can find anywhere and used as an instrument in this song. So.
Perfect. Thank you very much. We keep in touch, and we are going to send you the interview and some contacts, okay?
Perfect. Thank you very, very much.
Thanks you. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Really appreciate that. Thank you.
Bye bye.
¿Qué vamos a escuchar, Raúl, ahora? ¿Con qué nos vamos?
Vamos a escuchar Struggle de WHALESONG.
Ya volvemos.